Several statistics suggest that a lot of benefit claims are false. Since 2019, the amount of people claiming PIP has gone up from 2 million to 3.4 million. And 70% of these new claims are for invisible illnesses, such as anxiety and depression, which require self-assessment rather than being based on medical proof. Then let's look at what you can find online. You can find the PIP application success kit, the exact phrases that got me and others approved, and there are influencers earning six-figure salaries. So there's been a huge surge in claims for invisible illnesses, around which there are guides on how to apply and people making very good earnings from. I'm sympathetic towards young people with mental health issues, as we have 3 who play in one of my sports teams. However, they're all working, and we find that giving them a community where they have face-to-face interaction with people is much better than them giving up work and claiming benefits. At least 200,000 people are claiming both PIP and carers allowance. Now that's a contradiction in terms. On the one hand, people are saying that they're not well enough to look after themselves, so they're claiming PIP, but they're also saying that they're well enough to look after themselves and someone else and claim a carer's allowance. So we need to stop certain double claims which are contradictory. Let's have a look at disability claims across Europe. Well, surprise, surprise, the UK has higher rates of disability claims where cash is paid compared to other countries who provide care instead of cash. Let's now look at the 5 Bulgarians who committed £53 million worth of universal credit fraud and were arrested in May 2024. Both these are clear examples that benefits need to be provided as much as possible in the form of vouchers, goods, or care services instead of cash. We need a cap for the length of time that people can receive benefits in their lifetime. 3 months for people under the age of 30, 6 months for people aged 30 to 50, and 12 months for people over the age of 50. Once they've reached that lifetime cap of being on benefits, they then have to do some form of community service in order to receive benefits. This includes litter picking, fruit picking, working in care homes, mending the roads. I myself have been out of work twice during my lifetime, and I would happily do some form of community service, getting me out, interacting with people, and stimulating some sort of thought or business idea. The UK currently does not have a compassionate welfare system. This is because we currently pander to anyone who plays a victim and leave productive people to pay for unproductive people. We need a different system which reduces false benefit claims so we can actually provide decent care for people who actually really need help. PIP for invisible illnesses needs to be linked to your previous salary. I saw some crazy statistic that 17,000 people aged between 18 and 25 had taken themselves out of the workforce due to invisible illnesses such as anxiety and are now earning more money claiming universal credit and PIP. So PIP needs to be linked to your previous salary for invisible illnesses so that you can't actually earn more being on benefits than you did working. I have friends who have dwarfism and cerebral palsy who work, so at the moment it's absolutely ridiculous paying out so much money in benefits to people who are physically able to work. At the same time as cutting benefits, we also need to make employment more lucrative. I recommend reducing income tax from 20% to 10% for all earnings between £12,570 and £25,000. We also need to reverse Rachel Reeves's national insurance contribution hike and also reduce VAT for the hospitality sector. With over 1 million people under the age of 30 claiming unemployment benefits, we need to create jobs in sectors that traditionally employ young people. The national debt is ridiculously high, tax rates are also ludicrously high, so simply put, the benefits bill simply has to be cut and we have to get people into work.